Let's mix up some resin. So today I'm using the Let's Resin epoxy. I love this resin. It's so easy to use. Discount code NAPTIME will give you a discount. If your resin is a 1-to-1 ratio like this one, you're going to get a jug of part A and a jug of part B. And you're going to want to pour 100% equal parts A and B into your mixing cup. So here I'm pouring in my part A. I was mixing up 16 ounces today for a few different projects. So I'm going to pour in 8 ounces part A, which is this part here. And then I'm going to go in and pour in 8 ounces part B, which is this part here. You want to make sure they're completely equal parts, otherwise your resin will not set up properly. So when I'm pouring my resin, I'm actually squatting down to eye level and making sure that I am hitting those marks on my measuring cup spot on. So 8 ounces part A, 8 ounces part B. When you first start out with resin, I would recommend starting out with like 2 ounces or 4 ounces. And if you want to do 2 ounces, you would do 1 ounce part A, 1 ounce part B. And for example, if you wanted to mix up 4 ounces, you would do 2 ounces part A and 2 ounces part B. And then you just mix that up for 3 minutes. Mix slowly, scrape the bottom of your cup, scrape the sides of your cup, scrape off your stir stick. You're really trying to incorporate those parts A and B together. And it is very important that you mix your resin thoroughly and your parts A and B are completely equal, or your resin may not set up properly. And today we're going to be trying the smoke effect again, but I'm going to be adding pigments with it, mica pigments. So stick around and I'll show you how cool this turned out. We're going to be pouring today's project in a few different layers. So I mixed that up for 3 minutes and now I have a new clean cup and I'm pouring that mix that we mixed for 3 minutes right into that. And then we're going to scrape every single drop out of that first cup. It is very important you get all of it out so your parts A and B are equal. This is called the double cup mixing technique. This ensures that your resin is 100% mixed properly. And this is why I like to use a spatula to mix my resin, because it makes it easy to get every drop scraped out of that first cup. And then we're going to mix for another 3 minutes, mixing slowly. And if you have a cup like this, where there's like a little lip on the bottom or a little bit of a rim, make sure you get your stirring apparatus down in that part too to stir it up really well, making sure those parts A and B are 100% mixed. If you mix your resin like this with the double cup mixing technique, you're not going to have any problems with your resin not setting up properly due to under mixing. I get a ton of messages and emails asking, I just started out with resin. My resin is still sticky, and most of the time it's from under mixing. So if you mix your resin like this, it is going to set up perfectly. And again, making sure that your parts A and B are completely equal. So we have this mixed up. I'm going to take 2 little cups here. You can also get these cups from Let's Resin. I love these little cups to mix up my pigments. We're going to be using this interference blue mica powder from Let's Resin, and I'll show you how I mix up my mica pigments. I would say that was about a pea size amount, and then just mix it up really well. Make sure you get all the pigment particles mixed in with that clear. And then I'm going to use some of this ocean white. I love this stuff. It works great to make resin flower coasters as well. And I just put 1 little drop in 1 ounce of clear. These little cups are 1 ounce. And then just mix that up really well too. You want to make sure you get that white mixed in there. Otherwise you might get like stringy white lines. So just make sure it's mixed. That was sped up like 5 times speed. So I usually mix it up for about a minute or so just to make sure it's mixed. Now I'm just pouring in 3 ounces of clear here in my skull mold, and I'm just going to pour that down right into the mold. Like I said, when I mixed up my resin, I mixed up 16 ounces. But if you were just wanting to make this project, I would start out with 6 ounces. So you would do 3 ounces part A, 3 ounces part B, mix that up, keep 4 ounces of your clear, and then use the 2 other ounces to mix up your pigments. So I just went in with 3 little drizzles of the white and now 3 little drizzles of that interference blue. And that's it. I'm just doing a few little drizzles. You don't want to add too much or the pigments might take over. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit more of the clear and pour that right on top of the pigments. That is going to push those pigments down and give us a really cool wispy smoky effect. And this is the next day. I'm going to go in with some of these gorgeous Chameleon flakes from Let's Resin. This one is the purple pink. I just poured a little bit into my mold, and now I'm going to take a Q-tip and just burnish those into the silicone mold. And that means just push it down. You could also use your gloved hand, or new makeup brush works good too. I like to use these little Q-tips because it's easy and they're affordable. You might have to use a couple if the end of your Q-tip kind of gets used a little bit too much. It kind of looks like it's going to fall off of there, but you can use more than one if you need to. And I'm also going to pour some of this violet blue in there and do the same thing. I wanted to use both colors because these flakes are absolutely gorgeous. You can get them from Let's Resin. Discount code NAPTIME will give you a discount. Here's how they were looking. And now we're going to fill up the mold with some black tinted resin. And to make my resin black, I just used mica powder and a few drops of black alcohol ink, and that was it. Filled it up the rest of the way. It took about 4 more ounces on day number 2. Demolded it. Here's how it turned out. Those chameleon flakes give such an awesome color shift effect. If you use them with white or clear, they look really soft and pretty. But if you use them with a dark tinted resin, like I did with the black, they give you a really awesome, vibrant color like this. So, so beautiful. So you can see the top of the skull where we put that interference mica powder. Turned out really different and fun. Definitely go check out my last video I posted making these. I only used white when I made that one, and it turned out a lot different. So if you haven't seen that video, go check it out and let me know which one's your favorite. I think I like this one more just because blue is my favorite color, and I love that touch of blue from the blue interference mica powder in the head part of the skull. And I really like how the top part is transparent. You can see down into it, and you can see the color shift from those chameleon flakes. It gives a really cool effect. And I think it would be really fun to put like a hidden message down. You could use like some vinyl and put that down before you pour your second layer, and then you could kind of see it through the top of the skull. Let me know what you think. Definitely check out Let's Resin. Discount code NAPTIME will give you a discount. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.